Welcome back, everybody, to the Beggars Canyon Boys, episode number 44.
Whoa, no Ahsoka today. Weird.
Yeah. Does he even show up in the background of anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And it might be for the first time ever in these.
Yeah, except for that one episode that took place before the movie with the clone traitor. But other than that, oh yeah, and then probably Lair of Grievous too. But
okay,
other
so there's a few. Yeah,
yeah,
not a big deal.
I agree. I was just thinking of yeah, so we got 4 more exciting episodes of the Clone Wars today. We got the first appearances in the show.
There you have it, dude. 4 episodes. The 44th episode. 444. That's an angel number. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but when you see a vision and it's just there presented for you, you want to reach your Yoda paws out and grab it.
Your Yoda paws?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really think of Yoda as having paws.
What would you call them? Claws?
Claws, yeah. I would say claws.
What's the real, difference between claws and paws?
Well,
because claws are
kind of the nail. Yeah, you're right. But maybe you would say that someone has claw-like fingers. Maybe that's what you could say. That's just something you could say.
Okay, yeah.
You don't
should I have said that?
No, I'm not even saying that you should have or that you have to. It's just an option for something to say. Yeah, but you're right. I was about to be like, well, Chewbacca has paws, but Chewbacca also has claws.
I'd also say he kind of has hands.
That's true. He does just have human-y hands.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
No, he doesn't have paw. Well, maybe his feet are kind of paw-like.
Well, I feel like though, I don't know. Human physiology. I'm thinking too much about human physiology now. I'm like, well, we've got the front side and the bottom side, but I feel like in paws, there's a big difference between, the top and the bottom, which is maybe for camouflage reasons via evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Hair on the top, pads on the bottom.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Does Chewbacca? I believe he does have pads on the bottom of his feet.
But on his hands, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. And I don't really think we see the bottom of Chewbacca's feet in any of the movies or anything. But I guarantee you, in a comic book or something, he's kicking a door in or something like that. And
there's no Once Upon a Time in Hollywood shot where Chewbacca.
Yeah, he's watching a movie through. Yeah, not that I've seen, but again, I haven't seen everything, believe it or not. I mean, maybe that's in the second half of the 3rd season of Mandalorian or something like that.
This is a strange thought, and well, okay, I've already started. There has to be also for someone out there who's really into feet, there has to be a shot in Star Wars. It's the best foot shot in the whole franchise. Sure. And now I'm just kind of curious. So not that I'm interested in it for the reasons that someone would be.
That's okay, man. I mean, I don't shame about anything if you, anything that you're, passionate about. Mm-hmm. You can feel free to express yourself. Truly.
Well, I appreciate that. So, and what is the clip?
The feet clip.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that popped into my head was Sebulba, because the way he sits, this will be great for everyone, but his feet are he kind of does this, walks on his hands with his feet up in the air.
Yeah.
So his feet are pretty prominent in a lot of shots of him.
That's true. I guess I was thinking human, but it's very close-minded of me.
Probably then, I think Princess Leia is not wearing any shoes when she is lying up against Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe.
So there you go, pervert.
No, hey, just glad we got to the bottom of that.
Yeah, well, now you know what to look up when we stop recording.
No? I'll look it up now.
So before, yeah. Well, I was going to say a couple of things. 444, also a Jay-Z album, so it could be our Jay-Z episode, because he's a good guy that we want to associate with.
Yeah.
It's the first 3 episodes of Mandalore. The first time we're seeing Mandalore in the Clone Wars. First time seeing Mandalorians in general, other than Boba and Jango Fett, at least in canon material.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them in comic books and things, but we've seen quite a few of them in the Tales of the Jedi, as well as the Boba Fett, the Jango Fett open seasons comic. But yeah, big introduction to a lot of big characters here and big central concepts that will continue to play out through this show and lots of other Dave Filoni supervised content. And then one more episode, Senate Murders. And yeah, before we talk about those, do you have any big Star Wars news?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Pulled the Satine Showcase card.
Okay, all right, let's
Star
go.
Wars Unlimited.
Sorry, I'm gonna close this.
Okay, Jackson got so irritated at that he left. Oh, he's back.
All right, here I am. Yeah, we both got carbonite boxes, and someone got a showcase, and someone didn't.
But someone made a sick trade for a Grievous as I was eyeballing it.
Yeah, well, if you remember the conversation, I had mentioned it first.
That's true. That's actually true. But I wanted it more.
Well, would you have even gone to the store if I wasn't there?
Wouldn't have even bought a box until... I mean, I was like, not a hard sell, but if you hadn't convinced me, I wouldn't have gotten one. I think I was saying like, if it's this price, and you're like, no, it's above that. And I was like, oh, okay, then I won't do it. And then just a little more chatting, and I was buying a box.
I mean, then you went and looked up all the art for the cards.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, it's pretty cool.
Once that happened, it was kind of over. Once I saw cool artwork that I could purchase and buy and own. Man, and like I had so much fun organizing my cards like last weekend and just looking at them and going to those hyperspace editions. So fun.
Well, it's fitting that you pulled Satine for these episodes.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the introduction to Satine, but also like a bunch of Star Wars Unlimited cards are sort of first appearing
in Coronet. Is that what it's called? Coronet?
Mm-hmm. As well as Sundari Peacekeepers.
The Assassin
Droid. Duchess's Bodyguards or something.
Oh, yeah.
As well as Pre Vizsla, big character.
Mm-hmm. With the freaking Darksaber? What?
Yeah, the Darksaber gets freaking pulled out in this.
That was so
out of nowhere.
Yeah, and like I thought Obi would acknowledge it a little more because it was, and you know we're jumping ahead, but it was like prefaced by like, I stole this from your like ancient Jedi temples, blah blah blah. Like, oh my god, like what?
This has been used to kill thousands of Jedi over the millennia, and now your name will be added to its list.
Yeah, damn,
super,
and it looks
awesome.
sick.
Yes, it is so cool looking.
To be honest with you, I was so surprised by that because I had seen the like Star Wars Unlimited card, and I just thought that Darksaber was like a Disney thing and would come in the sequels or something. It just like felt like something that'd be introduced, and I was thinking live action with like the CGI aspect of it and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it would first come here in the animated like show.
Yeah, I mean, this is they had the first canonical mention of the Darksaber. There is a novel called Darksaber that takes place during like the early Luke's Jedi Temple, like New Republic era books. I'm pretty sure that's a oh man, how could I forget his name? The guy who wrote all the Tales of the Jedi comics that we loved so much.
Oh man, I forget too.
And all the Dune books with Kevin J. Anderson. That's his name. I think he is who invented the Darksaber, but I might be wrong on that.
I'm so curious. I mean, I'm like, is it a black Kyber crystal in there, or is it a tying to what he said about like, you know, if a lightsaber like that kills enough Jedi, it becomes corrupted or something?
I mean, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't remember exactly the history of the Darksaber, but I do know it does definitely get explored more in other
It
episodes.
also like catches the. I mean, I know it sounds dumb to say, but it like catches the light like so differently that it almost doesn't seem like it's the same material as like what a lightsaber is made. I mean, like, which
Yeah,
is light, but
and it's like skinny, like a actual sword blade
yeah. Mm-hmm.
compared to like a cylinder shape. But yeah, really cool. I mean I remembered that Pre Vizsla had the dark saber. I remembered it was introduced in these episodes, but I did not remember really how, like, I guess without fanfare, or just matter of factly, it was pulled out and like introduced as
Yeah.
this new concept.
And then we move on from it really quickly with
Yeah, yeah.
nothing really.
But he still got it. He
Yeah.
still got it. I had an action figure of Pre Vizsla with the dark saber. Uh, very awesome.
I feel like a Darksaber action figure could be painted very well, or just like it's just the black plastic, not painted.
It was just black, so it was pretty unfortunate. But the Pre Vizsla figure was really good,
That's
and it
cool.
had like the actual fabric cape and everything.
Oh,
So,
nice. Yeah.
God, and he looks so cool when he's walking in front of all his guys and he flips the cape back a little bit. I'm like, oh, such a sucker for the flipping of the side cape from bad guys.
Death Watch sympathizer over here.
I agree with their
Oh,
politics.
yeah.
I do. Um, yeah, well, I guess I just wanted to say real quick before we get into it. I think I may have even finished it by the last episode we recorded, but I did finally finish the Darth Plagueis book.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it took me a very long time, but I did finish it, and I would still recommend it. But I would say the first half is to me, way more interesting than the second half. It sort of becomes a little too concerned with like referencing and connecting to all this other expanded universe stuff that also ties into the prequel era, but it's like doesn't really serve the story at all. There would just be like a whole chapter essentially like checking the boxes of like, and this is when Darth Maul went on the adventure from that Darth Maul miniseries of comics that we read. And this is when he went to do his mission that is in another solo like Darth Maul novel. And here is Joruus Sabaoth from Heir to the Empire just showing up name dropped for really no reason, and he doesn't do anything.
Okay, but see how excited I got when he was name dropped?
I got excited too, but then he didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I understand though, like how exciting it must be to be in the Star Wars universe and want to start being like, ooh, I can make this connection here, and I can make that, because you're like, on paper, you're probably like, that's so awesome, and you can forget that it is not serving the purpose of your story.
Yeah, totally. And I love it when you can make these connections that actually like tie in everything so it really does feel like a cohesive universe where all these stories by different people really are all happening in the same like universe, if it matters for like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then at the very end it starts to just actually take place parallel to the events of Phantom Menace. And to me, that is extremely satisfying and super cool. You essentially, like, the last 2-3 chapters of the book are just Phantom Menace from Palpatine's perspective.
That is cool.
And
because, as I've said, probably Palpatine was having the time of his life there.
Totally. and I mean, he is like so like the most arrogant person in the world, who he just thinks he is like the smartest person ever. And I mean, he's pretty smart, but
I was gonna say, damn, doesn't it suck when super arrogant people like that have the skill to back it up?
Totally. Yeah. Because he's actually like a mad little genius.
Man, I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I'm watching the show. I was like, man, Palpatine, because there was some Palpatine in these episodes too. Palpatine's plan is like so he's been building this for a long ass time, and it's so intricate. Really, there's so many moving parts to it, and he super successfully pulls off almost everything, like move after move.
Yeah,
Even
totally.
as a Jedi, I think they're winning.
Yeah, and it's like you I don't know, like you think about like in the Senate murders episode, like to what extent does he have to do with this? Like why does he really even care about this? And it's like, well, I guess like if you have the Kaminoans wanting to just increase clone production for financial reasons mostly, then like then you're turning, he's sort of like twisting the idea of the Republic in general to like an autocratic like regime
Mm-hmm.
subtly before it officially like flips into being called like an empire. So he's just sort of like prepping that in people's brains so that they just kind of accept it when it does happen already. At
Yeah,
least that's what I think his motivation would be in this
yeah, I think
episode.
that makes sense, and probably as Satine sort of calls out, big major misstep was the Jedi becoming like generals and military leaders. Like
Mm-hmm.
that also positions it exactly for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like we've talked about this a bunch, but like the whole relationship between the Jedi and the Republic is so strange, and you know, I don't think it needs to be like directly allegorical to our real world. Like it's its own world with its own history and things, and the things that relate to us are more the generalities of the feelings and things like that, rather than like one-to-one comparisons with earth politics and things like that.
Yeah.
But it would be like uh, essentially the Jedi are like ex FBI like mercenary, like if you were to parallel it, you know, they're just like dispatched as like a peacekeeping authority, but they
Mm-hmm.
actually don't have any like official political title or
Yeah,
connection.
they go to foreign planets, like with different government systems, who are just like part of it, kind of.
Yeah.
And like the weird, if Obi-Wan did not know Satine, like that'd be such a hard line to walk,
Mm-hmm.
diplomatically. Like it's such a mess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
And
It's
they
like
intervene, like they're actively getting involved in situations that exacerbates situations on those planets.
and I feel like, you know, these episodes with Mandalore, similarly to a lot of other episodes we've seen, are communities that are like, oh, we don't want to be involved in the war. Jedi's come, and it's like, okay, now you pretty much brought violence to my planet. Not totally their fault in
Yeah.
most of the situations, but still, it's like this is just another example of like a seemingly peaceful place, and then the Jedi, not necessarily Obi-Wan, but like the Republic want to like have a military occupation there.
Yeah.
And
literally pleading on their Senate floor, like, don't come put your military on my planet.
yeah, like we have like a defense force or whatever of our own, like we can protect ourselves against like a terrorist group.
Yeah.
um
It's just the episodes were like kind of making me mad, dude.
yeah,
Just because like Satine's situation is so bad.
and
And
Obi-Wan, I just want to shake him and yell at him in these ones, you know.
Man, don't you think he should have left the Jedi Order to be with Satine?
Totally.
Don't you think he would have had a better, happier, more fulfilling life?
I mean, in the end, I think he did achieve his goal by being the catalyst for Luke to go on and save the galaxy and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But those must have been really hard times for him in the years after him and Anakin fight. And
Makes me sad. I was thinking about it today.
Yeah.
With all this stuff, I was like, it is. Anakin is like such a fantastic character, dude. He's the greatest character in Star Wars. Obviously, it's so good. He's so good.
Dude, he's great in the Voyage of Temptation episode today too.
Which one is that?
That's
on
the
yes.
ship. Yeah.
Yeah, when he
kills that guy at the
Mhm.
end. And
Yeah. God, it's like that's why he's so good too. It's really frustrating to watch Anakin with his like stupid smile on his face almost afterwards.
He's like,
doing
what?
That. Yeah, it's like a did I do that type moment when it's like, oh my god, Anakin, like
that's killing someone.
Yeah, you so callously kill like in favor of immediate like pragmatic reasoning and have no like consequence to the soul or anything long term. Like it's like dude, you're damaging yourself. Like it's so hard to watch at some point.
Yeah, totally. And they even like give the little musical cue of the Imperial March in there.
Crazy moment though. Also, I really like that they were like, because the episode there's some weird stuff, and I think it's just because, like you said, they throw up the question and don't give an answer, like exactly what should you do.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they tested Satine in like the most extreme possible scenario of her values, and she did not falter in them.
Yeah.
Because it kind of felt like for a while the episode was saying, hey, like if you just want to be neutral and pacifist, like that is a breeding ground for like traitors and corruption and authoritarianism to make its way in. And I was like, oh, it's like not a super I mean, like there's like some realism to that to a degree, but I do feel like there's a lot of value in that idealism and the idea that like not entering war, as I've said before, is like inherently corrupting. It's corrupting to enter war, no matter what you're doing it for. So it's just like, I don't know, there's weird stuff involved.
Totally. I mean, that's why I think it's like a cool show, because it doesn't really like shove that in your face. Like the message we're trying to say is that there's no right answer and there's positives and negatives to everything. Like it's not really blaring that in your face, but that does seem to be what they're saying over and over again with like these pacifist groups and then the Republic, and more specifically the Jedi, I guess, rather than the Republic, because the Republic is pretty bad, but the Jedi are like in general good people who want to help people, but they have some very questionable like things in their belief system. And then you have like these pacifist people who are like you said, like, well, no, we like it, we live on a planet that is separate from the rest of the galaxy. Like our people have no desire or really don't care about the rest of the galaxy. We have our own problems and our own things going on. And that's, like we said in the last episode, it's essentially just like countries in like a world war or something, like not getting involved. And it's like, yeah, well, can I really blame you all the time for not getting involved if you don't have like a big military to contribute to it or something like that? Then it's like, well, I mean, we just don't want all our people to die or be caught in some crossfire or something. And it's like, it never posits those people as wrong, but then it also shows like, well, like inevitably violence like does come even as hard as you try.
I guess the like real zoom out central like messaging is just like war is inherently bad and it creates terrible situations for anyone. It creates like a terrible non-breeding ground for like human connection to like blossom in a sustainable way that makes sense, and it just like ruins everyone's lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there are like beautiful and heroic moments within war, I guess, but only because you have created those scenarios for yourself or whatever. It's like sports or something. I mean, it's,
man, that is weird to think about like that too.
Like obviously it's more, I don't want to compare like real war to sports because of how many real people die in war and stuff, but like in the way of where these are like totally like manufactured stakes. Obviously not all wars, I don't know. My dad would go on about telling you like, well, actually there was no way for America to not enter World War II because the Nazis were going to take over the world. It's like, all right, well, I don't really know enough about history to like be able to argue against that, but these manufactured stakes. So like when the Jedi beat the droids in a battle, you're like, yay! But it's like, but that battle is only happening because it's all coming from one person who is putting you against each other.
Yeah.
So there's actually no victories or defeats.
Yeah, like the greatest personal victories you can have are kind of just avoiding bigger tragedies from the situation, like you said, that you've kind of played a part in manufacturing.
Absolutely.
So it's like you're prevent. That's just interesting.
And I think, again, it's not like they dive super deep into that in these, but I do think that is there, like in these episodes and in some of the other episodes we've seen too. But yeah, let's break it down a little bit more, and we can try not to retread on stuff we've already talked about a bunch, but
we did jump kind of to the meat of the episodes. But there's a bunch of cool stuff in the episodes. Didn't even talk about the assassin droid yet.
Oh yeah, totally. So the first one we got, Mandalore Plot. This is directed by Kyle Dunleavy, and this is his first episode that he's directed for the show, but he'll go on to do a lot more. And when I was looking at the list of ones he's directed, I was like, okay, buddy.
Nice.
Some good episodes.
This is a good start, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. This is written by Melina Sue, who we mentioned last time because she also wrote the Senate Spy episode.
Okay.
We've got some nice guest stars here in this episode as well. Pre Vizsla, did you know who was doing the voice of Pre Vizsla?
No.
That's Jon Favreau, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I told you about the SpongeBob voice actor.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I go back and listen, I'll hear Jon Favreau now.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't associate with me right away, and then I was like, oh, right. I saw his name like pop up in the credits, and I was like, yes, obviously.
It's funny. It's funny to me to learn about like just who is in the Star Wars universe, technically,
Mm-hmm. But Jon Favreau is like the main guy behind the Mandalorian show at the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
I think I maybe did know that at some point.
Then we've also got Greg Proops from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, and that one show on Nickelodeon with the girl who was like a young fashion CEO. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Man. Not Unfabulous. That was a different show. All right. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I was trying to go through my Nickelodeon codex, but I don't even know Unfabulous, so I don't think I can help you.
Okay. See, I feel like this is... I don't want to get us on too many non sequiturs.
Hey, it's okay.
We're going on so many rabbit holes here.
But he's playing Tal Merrick, who is the aide to Satine, like
the traitor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The guy that Anakin executes.
Yeah, lightsaber through the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of you is gonna kill me, huh? None of you. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty jaw-dropping moment. Too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great though. So yeah, this essentially is just that like there are rumors that the Mandalorians have organized a military force. It even says in all this opening stuff, like, because this would be a lot of people's very first intro to Mandalorians in general. Like, as a kid, especially, unless you were like a Star Wars nerd already and had like read a lot of books and comics and stuff. You maybe have never even heard the word like Mandalorian before until these episodes. So they do a very brief explanation of like, way back in the day, the Mandalorians and the Jedi fought against each other in a big war, but they've been peaceful for a long time. And then now there's rumors that the Mandalorians are organizing again and attacking against the Republic. So Obi-Wan is sent to investigate because I guess Palpatine loves doing this, where he probably knows that he had like a romantic relationship with Satine, and he's like, well, that will be funny to
Yeah.
like make him probably mess up his mission because of his feelings.
I was like, damn, everyone is messing with these Jedi, setting them on
Yeah.
missions that like relate directly to matters of their own hearts.
Yeah, they just like to see him squirm, I guess.
Rough.
So Obi-Wan goes there to Mandalore, to the city of Sundari.
Yeah.
Big black dome in the middle of a white sand desert. Pretty cool exterior look of the city. The interior looks a little bit like Minecraft. Not my favorite, but it's really cool because I was like, man, this is Sundari. Like, spend a lot of time here in this show in the coming
Oh,
years.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Oh.
And
And
a lot more Satine in the show?
I mean, a good bit. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't want to say too much about it, and that's probably already too much. But, you know, the whole, like, Concordia, sorry, and, like, Death Watch and the Mandalorians, it's a big part of the show.
That was a lot to introduce, I guess, to sort of just discard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
makes sense.
They definitely don't just discard it. And we don't get too deep into Death Watch stuff here, but they are introduced. So essentially she's like, yeah, there is like a terrorist organization. Well, Obi-Wan and Satine meet each other again, and it's like what we've already mentioned, and if you're listening to this, you probably already know that they used to be an item in the past. He explains it a little more in the next episode, where he and Qui-Gon were on some mission, and he and Satine had a little romantic affair during that. But
By the way, how nice to... I don't even like Qui-Gon that much, but how nice to hear his name mentioned.
totally, and it always kind of makes me happy to think about, like, not happy, but happy for like the richness of Star Wars rather than like the specific thing, but that Anakin would probably think of Qui-Gon in such a strange way as this guy that saved him from slavery and brought him to the Jedi and essentially granted all of his dreams overnight, and then died before he even got to know him at all or anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure he still has like that childhood like worship for Qui-Gon, especially because he martyred himself like so quickly after meeting him.
That's certain. I wonder if there's any bit of contempt in Anakin towards Obi-Wan because of that too, because of he would have had like a more like realistic relationship with Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
That Anakin can never have. And Anakin does have those sort of, you know, darker feelings within him, so.
And I think that I you know, I'm sure this has been explored in some book or something, but I do think that it's possible too that Anakin has weird. I do think he genuinely like loves Obi-Wan in these times and looks up to him, and like they're really good friends. But I think there is also a thing in the back of his mind about how he knows that Obi-Wan didn't really like Anakin like right away at the beginning. He was like, who is this guy that you've just picked up, and now you're focusing on him all the way instead of me? I'm supposed to be your Padawan. And Obi-Wan was on the side of the council of like, no, I don't think we should train him if that's what the council says.
Yeah.
And he only agrees to train him because it's Qui-Gon's like dying wish.
Yeah,
So
he says he's going to do it with or without the council's approval, right?
Yeah,
By the end of
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know how much of that Anakin is aware of or processed at the time, but like, you know, maybe he feels a little resentment for like Obi-Wan didn't actually want to train him.
Yeah, man, complicated relationship.
Yeah. But anyway, Death Watch blows up this building, and so it's like, okay, it's real. Obi-Wan's like, I'm gonna go to Concordia. A lot of blah blah blah, like action, a weird sequence where he's gonna be crushed on a conveyor belt.
Oh, and yeah,
Yeah.
they play turns saving each other.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you completely glossed over the dude who also just like the Death Watch dude who
Oh yeah,
kills
yeah.
himself.
And he doesn't even die right away
I
too.
know.
He's like on the ground, like
Like
"Ah!"
writhing in pain for a second, and then he's able to like utter out some last words.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
totally.
did Satine ever say what he said? Because Obi-Wan's like, what's he say? Like, as this dude's dying, by the way,
Yeah,
which I thought
yeah.
was so weirdly disrespectful of Obi-Wan. Like, Satine clearly caring for her people, even though they're part of like a fringe terrorist group. And Obi-Wan being like, what is he saying?
Yeah, he's
though?"
like, oh, but the mystery I'm trying to solve.
yeah. And she's like, just let him get the word
Yeah.
in.
No, I don't. I remember that moment, but I can't remember what he said. Or
I don't think
if
they
it-
tell us.
Yeah, no, maybe not. So I genuinely wonder if that ever comes up again.
Obi-Wan's a little naughty in this episode sometimes, dude. He's not the best in this.
No, and whenever Satine sort of like challenges him a bunch about the Jedi, his own personal views. Oh, are you just like such a servant of dogmas that like you'll forego your personal morals just to agree with like to play politic and like be accepted among your high council of order? And Obi-Wan doesn't really have anything to say to that.
Yeah.
Like she kind of got him pretty good and he doesn't have a defense for it.
Yeah.
He doesn't even try. He's just like, well, we
Yeah.
didn't ask for the war to start.
He also just keeps being like, well, you're lazy. Like, you're shirking your responsibility. You just
Yeah.
don't want to do it. It's like, what? Like, he calls her lazy at some point, which really stood out to me because I was like, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what about her at all has shown, like, that's how you know you're wrong, Obi-Wan. Like, what about Satine and anything she's doing? And, like, her very busy day-to-day of, like, managing all this, like, comes, what about having the Republic come even makes it not lazy then, you know?
Absolutely.
Like,
I mean, she totally feels in these episodes at least like we don't really get a good sense of like does the general population of Mandalore like or dislike her, but we can assume that they do because of what they talk about no like a Republic occupation cannot happen because right now the people are against Death Watch and we can quell a fringe group of terrorists because nobody wants that other than them. If you put a military occupation here, that will galvanize the people
Yeah.
into turning against the government and joining up with the terrorist group.
well, we voted for it, so here you go.
Yeah, I mean, God, and that was crazy too. They just did it without her.
Yeah.
Like, there's some messed up stuff going
It's
on in
the
these
episode,
episodes.
yeah, like if you're on the Satine side of things, which is the kind of correct position to be on for the episode.
Yeah, I think so.
You get pretty frustrated, like, with everything going, and it's like, obviously we know Palpatine's like scheming and whatnot, so it's like, come on, you everyone, like,
yeah.
you're just letting him do this.
He keeps being like, hey, I'm against it, but
Yeah.
you know, like I have to agree with the vote.
Dude, I was like, what the hell? Are the votes not public? Or like, does everyone get a private vote? Like, won't they see how Palpatine voted at the end?
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, I know they don't get into that, but
Maybe he just knows that there will be a majority anyway, so he can vote on the other side and just maintain his image.
maybe it did seem like they had a very slim group who was gonna vote against it.
Totally. Yeah, and does the episode end with just like, yep, and your planet is going to get occupied
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's kind of just like a bummer.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my god, like, if these episodes, because it was so much on Satine and like terrible things happened to her and the situation that she's in, that I was like, oh my god, if they end this with like Satine losing and just dying at the end here or something, getting like sniped by one of these Death Watch dudes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like so infuriated at the episode.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't die, but she does fail.
Yeah, it's close to, yeah.
Yeah. I actually forget like what the third episode of that arc leaves us with, because
Yeah.
I remember the episode. I remember like, you know, she's framed for murder and like she and Obi-Wan are in the streets together and all that, but I can't remember like the final
Palpatine
beat.
basically is just like, oh, we're ever so sorry. Like you have been a very loyal member. Like,
Mm-hmm.
then they just send her off, right? I think that's
Yeah,
kind of
it ends on like the docks platform outside the Senate building or
and the
whatever.
silly thing that isn't addressed that she should have been like, well, wait, since we're all here, let's talk about this right now. She says it after Palpatine and everyone else leaves, I think. But it's like, well, who doctored the evidence
The
that
video,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, what I would have been like, well, Palpatine, you brought it and you played it. Where did you get it from?
Yeah, totally. He's like, oh, I
Yeah,
don't know.
they just move on. It's like that seems like something we can trace the source of pretty easily.
Totally. Like somebody tampered with it,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. But it's the thing, like these guys, they just hire like bounty hunters who are super willing to just kill themselves.
Yeah,
Like
nuts. And also, I mean, it's I don't know how much of like the Senate itself is just corrupt plants that Palpatine has in there that like don't even know they're all like standing next to each other's corrupt selves.
I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, and then but because like the whole Mandalore is like that basically.
Yeah.
Like so many of the people there seem to have their own. They're either like just straight traitors or seem to be conniving in other ways.
Totally, because Pre Vizsla is the governor of Concordia.
Yeah,
but secretly leading a terrorist group, and not even so secretly.
Yeah,
like,
pretty lazy about it. Just
yeah. He reveals himself right away to Obi-Wan and them,
Yeah.
but I guess he was very confident they would kill both of them right there.
Plus,
but
when you have a cool sword like that,
you want people to know whose it is.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. But we get a lot of cool stuff with Death Watch. I mean, I'm a fan of. It's not super developed in this, but it goes back to what you're talking about how many people are standing next to each other. They're both traitors and they both think that they're the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is kind of what the whole thing is all about, especially because they, in this Senate murders episode, and we are jumping all over the place, but they're all thematically connected, so I think it's okay.
Forgot we still had to discuss that one.
Yeah, and we haven't really talked about a lot of the Mandalorian episodes too, but that's fine. This is more interesting than just summarizing what happens in the episode. So, but they say in the opening thing of the Senate murders one that like wars on multiple fronts, right? While the clones and Jedi are fighting on different planets, blah blah blah, another war is being fought in the Senate. And it's like, okay, so there's kind of just like constant parallels going on with everything. And then also this thing with Death Watch, Dooku is who is kind of in Pre Vizsla's ear saying like, hey, you guys are very close to being able to like fully reveal yourselves and occupy your planet because you will have the full backing of like the Separatist army and stuff. And then when it goes bad or whatever, oh no, it doesn't. Doesn't it end with them not going to occupy it because she reveals the undoctored evidence, and then they're like, "Okay, we reverse the vote."
That's the second. That's how the second episode ends. I thought you were asking how the final episode ends and where it leaves Satine's situation off.
Oh, okay. I was actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But so then, what happens? What happens in that third episode to catalyst her being like on the run?
She gets the correct footage from her dude. I don't know who it was, like one of her informants or whatever. And then one of the Death Watch people snipes that dude.
Yeah.
And then the cop droid is like, "You did it." And then what's interesting there is I guess they have like clones doing just patrol work on the street as well as cops.
As droids too.
Yeah.
So
which is that was weird to me, and I was like, so there was also clones like looking for her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. That is, yeah, it is weird. And it's weird because they have the Coruscant Guard clones, then they also have like the police clones, then they also have the Jedi, then they also have the Republic guards, the guys in the blue.
Oh, military state, jeez.
I know, it's like all like 7 different factions that all have like different bureaucratic oversight and just like what? It's so messy.
Yeah.
But But that's kind of my whole point with like Dooku and everything is like he thinks that he is the number 2 guy in the whole grand plan of everything. Like he serves Palpatine, but he thinks that other than Palpatine, he is the most powerful guy in the universe.
Yeah.
But to Palpatine, he is just like one of like 20 guys. So then Dooku starts doing the same thing on a smaller level.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I am actually the most powerful, because most people don't even know that like Darth Sidious, or that there even is another Sith Lord other than Dooku.
Oh, that's so weird. I guess I didn't even like ever think about it like that.
So
that
to the
he's
Jedi,
kind of-
Dooku is the main.
Yeah, he's
threat.
kind of positioned as that big bad there.
Yeah,
They
totally.
don't. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And I know like Palpatine has been working under the shadows, but I guess in my head I'm always still thinking like they know there's something else, but they don't. I guess really.
I think they do know there's something else, but they don't necessarily know what. And I think oftentimes they're like, because in Phantom Menace when Maul dies, they're like, oh, always 2 there are, but who did we just find? The student or the master?
Yeah.
They don't really know. So then like Dooku comes and they're like, oh, okay, was Dooku like the master of Darth Maul or what? Like, so they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But then, so Dooku is now treating Pre Vizsla like how Palpatine treats Dooku. And it's just like, yes, you are my special little project. You are going to have the full help of the Separatists, where like the second it wasn't like an opportunity for Dooku, he would just totally cut them off. And
they would blow up that moon in
a
fraction of a second.
Totally. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that just happens on like a million levels.
Yeah, remind me, Cad Bane, because I feel like I want to say he's sort of under Dooku too, but I'm thinking I remember Palpatine actually corresponding with him.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like kind of on that level.
Totally.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
But I guess Palpatine wants like completely untraceable things, and maybe Palpatine doesn't even want Dooku to know that he was kidnapping Force-sensitive children to train them as assassins.
Maybe. It seems like that was kind of like a different plan, even like a completely backup thing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I don't know.
Like, because, okay, and then in the Darth Plagueis book, they talk about like Palpatine finds out about Anakin that he doesn't have a biological father, and he's like, oh my God, did me and Plagueis make him when we were doing this like crazy ritual to try and create life with the Force? Like,
oh my God,
did we do that? And he doesn't really know for sure, but then he starts like keeping an eye on him, and then he hears the rumbles of like, oh my God, he's got like the highest midichlorian count ever, and blah blah blah. And then it's like, wait, this little kid exploded the Trade Federation blockade. He's like, okay. And then it ends the...
Ooh, that's awesome. That's an awesome perspective to see, like Palpatine hearing about Anakin for the first time and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And it even has the scene where, you know, a stupid scene in Phantom Menace where they're on the platform and Anakin is like, Master Yoda mentioned midichlorians. I've been thinking, what are midichlorians? And then Qui-Gon explains that to him.
Yeah.
But Palpatine is there, just like on the other side of the platform. And in the book, it's like he is trying to get Anakin like this whole time, and just keeps like he keeps missing him by like 5 minutes or whatever. And he's like, oh, I want to go like talk to him and start like worming in his ear and start like corrupting him right now. But fucking Qui-Gon is there, and then he's like, okay, Qui-Gon has to die. I gotta kill Qui-Gon, or else to destabilize this kid's life, or else he'll have like a mentor that will not lead him down the path I want.
Crazy, dude. And fucking smart move, because then it puts him with Obi-Wan, who's younger and still kind of learning himself.
Totally.
Makes Anakin a lot more vulnerable. Bad move on the Jedi's part, actually. Not like doing some rearranging there.
Yeah, but I guess they were all so sad that Qui-Gon died that they were like, well, we also want to respect his final wish.
Yeah, I guess.
Bad move from Qui-Gon to give Obi-Wan that as his final command.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think there's like constantly cool parallels in all that stuff.
Yeah, these episodes were like very rich in like just getting the brain thinking about all those Star Wars connections. So I had fun watching them.
Totally. The second episode of the Mandalore stuff is on, what's the name of the ship?
The Coronet.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, now you have something remembered that I don't know.
That's because I got the 1-2 punch of just getting those cards. I use it in my deck, and then it was in the episode.
Yeah.
And it's a very distinct looking spaceship, I think, even within Star Wars.
I agree with that for sure. On that episode is mostly about there's this assassin droid on the ship and multiple of them, I guess, and we find out that Greg Proops is a traitor and planted it on the ship to kill Satine.
It's crazy that was Greg Proops. Now I want to go back and listen to him.
It's mostly just like a fun action episode with also the side of Obi-Wan and Satine's relationship getting explored more, and like Anakin being a witness to that, and Anakin really getting a lot of pleasure out of like knowing that he's like, I'm not the only one who goes off and has a secret girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Man, and there's the sad little response that Obi-Wan gives, where he's like, yeah, Master Yoda often talks about like not letting that attachment get to you, but he doesn't talk about like how harrowing that is and like how utterly sad it can be.
Totally. And it's like, bro, Yoda, I'm sorry, man, but Yaddle is not around anymore. Other than her, I don't know who you would be involved with. So
Yoda just like Yoda's asexual.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
And he wants to make everyone else be asexual too.
Totally. He's just kind of jealous that like nobody's sexually attracted to him. So I'm sorry you're not Ewan McGregor or Hayden Christensen, these sexy men who probably get fawned over a lot in real life.
Yoda and Gorgmonger?
Okay, Gra. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I should call her by her name, not a profession.
No, it's okay. It's just, she has a name.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It's simply because I was like, yeah, teacher and doctor. Stupid.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's not. It's really disrespectful. So I'm sorry.
She is the only Gorgmonger I do know by name, though. So.
But you do know there are other Gorgmongers.
No, actually, okay. I mean, I assume that there are, but I don't know.
She doesn't like have proprietary ownership over Gorgs.
Yeah, no, I own the intellectual property rights. Only my stand of sticks is allowed to sell.
Called Gorgs could be a different.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Could be the Oreos of Gorgs. So she's got going on there.
That's interesting. Maybe we'll write a little short story about that.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to write about if they gave me a Star Wars opportunity.
About Gra and how many swokes it costs to.
Is that the currency?
No. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. The currency is whoopie.
Okay.
She is a swokes.
Gotcha.
I believe.
How many Star Wars currencies do you think you know? Because there's credits, there's oopies.
Yeah. That might be it.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if like I could say like Rodian, you'd be like, it's Rodan, I don't know.
I'm sure there are many, many more that I don't know. But they also have like Republic credits, and then a lot of different places just call their things credits, but they're like different I cannot like recognized, some credits don't work some places and stuff like that.
The same makes sense. Big economy.
Yeah.
Interstellar economy.
It's crazy they even have any kind of regulation over it. But just a couple cool things about this episode. Another one with some slight horror elements involving the clones.
Yeah.
Rex goes down to investigate this whole thing, and we've got these two clones, Red Eye and Mixer, I believe are their names, but they don't last very long, going around looking for this thing, and they get brutalized by this assassin droid, stabbed through the chest by its legs, and then like pulled up into it.
Crazy shot. Yeah. And again, another environment where it's like dark. They've got their flashlights on, so it's like super what's the word? I'm atmospheric already.
Yeah.
I went back and like the clone getting pulled up by the droid. I went back and I just watched it one more time because I was like, man, ooh,
yeah, kind of nasty.
It's the thing I was saying where I'm starting to think like that's like totally. It's like it's okay to have in a cartoon, but it's kind of getting close to the edge of it, you know.
I mean, they're pushing the boundaries of what you know. I don't want to act like, oh, this is so dark and stuff. And I know you're not saying that either, but in terms of like a TV PG Cartoon Network show, I do think they are pushing the limits of what can we show in this where we do still want it to be for kids. We don't want it to cross over into like an Adult Swim level show, but let's take it as far as we can within those constraints that it will still be like a Cartoon Network show for 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
But,
whew. Cool stuff though. Makes me excited.
and then later when Anakin comes down, they're literally puppeting the clone out of the darkness.
Oh,
from
man.
behind.
And Anakin kind of just swipes it off, right?
Yeah. Again, like inconsistent with how much he cares about the lives of his fellow clones.
Yeah,
but
whatever.
Yeah.
I do like the mini assassin droids that pop out of the dead assassin, like bigger assassin droid too.
Yeah, it's like that frog that has all the babies and the holes
eggs,
on its back. Yeah.
It was
that
cool.
Was very cool.
The one in the helmet, like popping out, a little jump scare.
Nice little thing-esque moment where Obi-Wan takes it under he has it in like a glass container and he walks around to all the different senators to see who it'll react to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they figure out who the traitor is. Yeah, a lot like The Thing. And the moment where the clone gets stabbed and pulled up into the droid is a lot like Alien. It's almost like these people probably are like inspired by other very popular like science fiction and horror things.
Maybe. Who knows?
But it works. I think it's a good episode. For some, I don't understand why the other senators are on this ship. Maybe they got picked up along the way to Coruscant, but they don't. Do they explain that? Like, Orn Free is there, and it's like
I also didn't understand like the hierarchy of things because it seemed like Satine was like way above the other senators.
Yeah, she's like a duchess. Also, is she a senator?
Oh yeah, I guess I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Mandalore doesn't have.
To me, like senator is just like the classification of a representative to the Republic. So like a king or queen could be a senator. Sure. So I thought she was a duchess and a senator, but maybe she's not a senator and she was just speaking as their representative because they're neutral, but like still, I don't know. They have a weird situation.
Totally. And then Padme, she's not queen anymore once she becomes a senator, and then there's a new queen on Naboo.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
Yeah,
I guess you can't do. Well, I don't know.
Is what's his name? The senator is Hal Merrick the senator. Let's just see. I don't believe so, but let's just see real quick.
Is Hal Merrick the senator of California?
No, he's a prince.
Okay. All right, I don't know how their system works.
He served on the Council of Neutral Systems. Oh, that's right. So they're a neutral system, so they're not technically a part of the Republic, so they don't have a senatorial seat.
Okay,
so she's just there representing their
That's
planet.
why I was saying it was weird, because I was like, what? Because the juxtaposition issue was they're not part of the Republic.
Right. So, yeah, I just forgot about that.
No, me too. I was like, she's a senator, but wait, she's not. She can't be. Weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've already talked about Anakin executing Cal Merrick. Anything else in those 3 episodes? I do have some more thoughts about the Senate murders one, but
do you think that Obi-Wan would have killed Tal to save Satine there? It was really hard to tell. I don't think he was going to do it even.
What was the leveraging that he had too? I'm gonna blow up something.
Yeah, it was the whole ship. Everyone, all the lives on the ship would have been lost.
So if you kill me, like I'll kill everyone.
It's kind of put him in a trolley problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Huh. Yeah. No, I think Obi-Wan has gone down the pragmatic route and he would make like the mathematically correct decision. I think he is tempted by Satine, but it is sort of like he says in the episode and like you mentioned, back in the day when they were like having their love affair, he says, if you had said the word, I would have left the Jedi Order and gone with you, which is wild. Uh, but I don't think he would do that now.
Yeah, probably not.
You know?
Too, but could be nice. Could be nice for Obi-Wan.
Yeah, for sure.
And where I wonder what Satine was up to while he was on Tatooine. Maybe those two can get together once in a while and you know, make him less lonely up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Well, we'll have to see what goes on with her and their relationship. As
she is around during that time, right, when like Luke's.
I don't want to say either way. You know,
Right.
it's a new character that we don't see in anything else yet. So I don't want to say what her
man, it's rough. I don't even know
when is.
When does the Mandalorian take place? Let me rack my brain and try to think. I know there is like mention of the clone troopers. No. The stormtroopers are in that.
Yeah.
So it's after.
It's after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Okay.
It's after the whole original trilogy.
And do they go to Mandalore in that show? At least in the first season?
In the first season? I don't remember.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think so. But maybe they do. I don't remember.
And I feel like what I've heard from the Mandalorian is that everything about like Mandalorian culture was kind of war-based and violence-based. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
Totally.
Sounds like, I don't know if Satine, that's what I was thinking about her too. I was like, man, I hope we don't see this trajectory for the character where Satine eventually becomes sort of, she flips on her perspective and it's like, okay, actually I do need to embrace like violence, and that is going to be the only answer to help protect my people, and sort of go down that path.
Yeah, that would be sad.
I don't know.
I do think they touch on it a little bit in these episodes too, with Pre Vizsla talking when he's sort of spouting his politics. It's very much like, oh, like these weak pacifist leaders have totally destroyed Mandalorian culture, and like Mandalorians are supposed to be warriors, like conquerors. You know, we're not supposed to be. You know, a peaceful, like they're like Spartans. You know, like all they care about is fighting and conquest, and that's what he's trying to bring back, the glory of the Mandalorian army and all this whole, you know, ideal system, which is pretty cool. When obviously it's not quite as good, but I really do love this idea in media, or in, I hate saying that phrase, so in stories where there is a character who presents themselves as some kind of like fundamentalist, or has like incredible reverence to this like thing of the past, that they believe their actions are perpetuating, reviving, whatever it might be. And it honestly reminds me of like The Sopranos, about how like Tony justifies his own violence like in his mind and things like that, where they're like, well, you know, back in the day, and like in Italy, like blah blah blah, all the way back to like ancient Rome, the outlaws were like the people who, you know, actually protected when like the governments wouldn't help, and blah blah blah. So like we're just maintaining the tradition, we're warriors, we're soldiers. And it's like, okay, first of all, you're not maintaining the tradition because it's so different than what was going on then. But also, that was not cool back then, too. Those were bad guys then, too.
It's kind of like using culture as an armor to just like continually do bad activities that benefit you.
Totally. I mean, It's a good thing that's only something that's in like stories and fiction, though.
Yeah, I'm glad there's no groups or any like connection in real life that is plaguing the world with that. So
Using religion
yeah,
or cultural nostalgia to be
yeah, as a
weaponized.
bludgeon to yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's an interesting thing for like a bad, pathetic character to be wrapped up in, though.
Yeah.
And I think again, it's doesn't go as like psychologically deep as it does in like something like Sopranos, but I do think Pre Vizsla is kind of an interesting character for that reason.
Yeah, he's when I saw the card, to be honest, I was like, this character I'm not gonna think about much. Gonna be pretty forgettable. Thought they were maybe gonna be like a background character, a random thing, but he's pretty cool. I'm excited to see where we go with him.
Pretty cool, and excuse me, can hold his own against Obi-Wan in a fight. Apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. I guess maybe the Darksaber gives you a little extra. You're a little lighter on your feet.
Yeah.
Although he didn't. He held his own, but that one time he would have been knocked out or knocked over if his boys didn't catch him.
Yes,
there and help
true,
him back up to his feet. So.
And Obi-Wan, when he does get beaten in these episodes, it's because he is either like taken unawares or he gets like vastly outnumbered. And these Mandalorians are the Death Watch members are, wanted to be seen as believable threats, like extremely skilled warriors.
Yeah.
So, if at first I was like, oh man, really, Obi-Wan, you're getting beaten up by 2 Mandalorians? Like, come on, bro. But it's like, hey, well, maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that making Obi-Wan weak. Maybe these guys are just really strong.
Gosh, yeah. What other Jedis has he killed? Like,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, cool stuff, and it will continue.
Nice. 5 more seasons, right? There's 7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we've already talked about it a little bit, but there's one more episode, Senate Murders. And this one is overall not as interesting, to me at least, as the other ones, but it still has some cool stuff in it. And one of the most interesting aspects about it for me is when either, I forget who says it, but I think it's Anaconda Farr or maybe Bail Organa, who says to the Camino Senator, like, hey, like, my planet might not have enough money to bribe its way into a Senate seat, but like, we still actually respect the values of democracy or whatever, he says. But I was like, whoa. I mean, I knew that was a thing and that they definitely go into it a lot in the Plagueis book. But like the fact that people are openly aware that there are senators that just straight up bribe their way into being represented in the Republic, like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is wild. She was cool, by the way. I liked her as a character. Although the funny moment with her is when the inspector is like piecing together like how she is the culprit for the murder, and one of his justifications is like the poison that was used was made by your species. So
you probably did it because you're the only one of that species around right now.
That's not great. Like,
yeah,
because they made it, like their species made it, you think she did it? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's like a little you're on Coruscant, bro. There are literally thousands of different species in this building that you're in right now.
Like, how much transit must Coruscant see daily? Like,
yeah.
An insane amount.
It's like the Atlanta of the galaxy.
Yeah, I think we actually talked about customs, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're talking about that, how easy the clones got the alien eggs.
Oh, yes, yeah.
But that was interesting to me. Also, a little subtle moment where I know the wine was poisoned, and this was probably put in there as like a red herring to make us think that it was the Camino senator. I can't remember her name, but she goes to the little like party that they're having, and C3PO. C3PO is doing server work here too, but he offers her the wine, and she like picks up the bottle and kind of like looks at the label and then puts it back down. And I think that was supposed to serve two purposes. It's like such a quick little moment, but like that's like pretty good, like subtle characterization for a cartoon to like establish her as this like elitist, like xenophobic weirdo of like, oh yeah, no, this wine, no, I'm not having that. And serves as the fact as like, well, we can probably all guess that it's the wine that's poisoned because of how quickly Anaconda Far dies after drinking the wine.
Yeah.
But like that made me think like, okay, well, it's her because she declined the wine.
Yeah.
And like I'm thinking like, well, this show is for kids. Like the people who are presented as the bad guys are like probably gonna be the bad guys. But then this whole time we've been talking about how it's really not like that.
True, yeah. Really started throwing us off a little. I guess when they're immediately presented as bad guys, they're usually just like bulldozing forward as bad guys. But in situations like this, there's a little more trickery and political thriller going on to it.
Totally. But yeah, rest in peace to Anaconda Far here.
Dude, I know.
Uncle Ano.
Oh, okay. Also, what did he do in his past? I think I missed that. That like caused so much trouble on his planet.
Oh, so in that episode where Padme goes there to Rhodia.
Oh, she's mad about that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my! I thought like she. Okay, I thought it was like something deeper in his past that was like part of a bigger tragedy or catastrophe or war on Rhodia or something. Because it, not that that's not serious, but I was like, it sounded like super intense to her.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it was like before that thing about how they like had aligned with separatists and stuff like that. But I don't know exactly. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about, and I just kind of assumed it was like, oh yeah, well, because of that stuff with Padme, like he brought, because she said like you brought the war to our planet. Or whatever.
But and she's like, but you thought I'd forget and just like continue to work with you, blah blah blah. Like a real bone to pick about it that I was not entirely like. I buy why you hate him so much and would kill him. You know?
Yeah, yeah. But it is suspicious that there are just like two Rhodians around, because it's like, well, why are you here though, other than to be the bad guy?
Mentor, mentee.
Yeah,
there's always two.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it goes back to what we're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
probably Sith, actually. Yeah.
Man, the Rhodians' eyes are so cool.
I love Rhodians. Man, we need to get a Rhodian Sith. Actually, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. But they're eyes that are just like star nebulas and stuff. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Rhodian eyes on death sticks.
Oh,
you remember death
shit.
sticks?
Of course I remember death sticks. Yeah. They're all swimming around. Oh, hell yeah. Elan Sleaze-Bagano likes to just hire a Rhodian prostitute just to look at her face while he's tripping.
Yeah.
I know he does.
Yeah, that's canon?
Yeah.
The lore master said so.
Yeah. Pablo Hidalgo.
Yeah.
It's just like a interesting focus for an episode because they don't do too much with it, and it's not my favorite episode. But this was also one that like totally was blacked out of my memory. Like this investigator character, I did not remember him at all.
Yeah, he's got a terrible design too.
He's looking like a Psychonauts character.
Yeah, it reminded me of fucking the dude from Jimmy Neutron, like who's a foreign exchange student. Like
yeah.
Bobino or so, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Lieutenant Tan Devo.
Yeah.
Oh, he also does the voice of Newt Gunray.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Nadar Veb, who gets killed by Grievous.
Yeah, the fish dude, right?
Uh-huh. That's interesting. He does Newt Gunray.
Well, this was the first one where I distinctly was like, that is SpongeBob. I can tell.
Damn, I did not notice that, but you're obviously you're right, but I need to go back and hear it. But you know who he reminded me of? I was trying to think, what actor does this look like? And
Wait, I want to guess
yeah,
who you're
yeah.
gonna say. Is he in Harry Potter?
Hmm. I don't think so.
Okay, the only guess really I had was whoever plays Harry's like brother, his adopted or his stepbrother in
Oh
Harry
yeah,
Potter.
Dudley,
Yeah,
who's in Devil All the Time and stuff.
yeah, Queen's Gambit also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say he looks like David Dash Malchain, this guy
Oh,
from Late Night with the Devil.
yeah. Wait, he does really look like him.
Just like a big forehead, the cantle tilt of the eyes.
Just like if he was much paler, he would look a lot like that. Because that character was like egg shade almost.
Yes. It's like if you took David Dalmatin's face and grabbed it and did this. Just like twisted
a little
it
twist?
a little bit.
Yeah. Nice.
But kind of a fun character, I guess.
I am open to him being potentially fun in the future. Gotta say, like, I feel a similar thing with this character than I did with that little like woodland elf fairy type kid on that droid planet that they were like was blockaded off and they couldn't get off for a bit.
Yep.
Where it's like the design of the character is so unappealing to me that I'm like I'm a hard buy-in for anything the character is doing or saying.
Understandable. And I do not know if this character comes back ever again. But I didn't hate him.
Hey, maybe there's more Tan in the future. He was also not a great inspector. I thought he'd like really add something. He didn't need to be in the episode.
No, he didn't. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like they just wanted to like make a new character for the episode.
Yeah.
But they already do. They make like 4 new character models for this episode because Mon Mothma is here.
Oh yeah. And this was the first Bail Organa too, right? We hadn't seen him before.
Yeah, maybe briefly on like holograms and things like that, but
okay.
And then I'm sure he has been in like little quick scenes with Padme, like in the Senate building and stuff. But this was definitely his heaviest featured episode so far.
I wonder if they like give assignments to, I don't know what their hierarchy and org chart is, but like the underlings of the animation department, they're like, okay, you can go design. How about you do Mon Mothma? Like she's coming up like in a few months. We're gonna do an episode where she's kind of there for a second. Why don't you work on her 3D model?
Yeah,
I just want to know how they decide how they do that.
I bet you're right. But I mean, it was fun in the Senate building too. Oh yeah, okay. This was what I meant to talk about anyway. I was thinking about like they like to get reuse out of the models that they make, and I understand it's not easy to like make a new character model for a TV show, especially when you're on like a pretty hard time limit and stuff. But we've talked about before how in the hostage crisis episode, like Anaconda Farr is there, Senator Chuchi is there. So these are like people that, yes, I understand for like the budgetary reasons of the show why they're there, but it also works in making us just slightly care about these random background characters that are in danger because we have seen them before and we have had an episode focused on them, so we know about them a little bit or whatever. And they do the same thing in this one, where the episode begins with Satine and her guards like walking out of Padme's office, and Satine doesn't have anything to do with the episode. She's not in it beyond that, but it's just like, oh, that's cool. She was there, like having a conversation with Padme.
I noticed that too, and it stood out with her because her design is like also very extravagant.
Yeah, totally. Those little like cones in her headpiece or whatever. It was from a concept art for like Padme's outfits in Phantom Menace.
Oh, interesting. Okay. At first, when I saw like Satine in the episode, I thought like she was just an alien, and some of that was part of her like physiology.
Yeah.
And when I saw her like take it off later, I was like, whoa, okay.
Mandalorians are just human.
Yeah. I guess I knew that, but I don't know.
But
you can have a leader who's maybe not the human if you're, I don't know.
It's an interesting No, I think you're right. You know, there are also planets with more than one species on them. So, uh, it's a weird line though between like meaningless fan service and then like manufacturing a little bit of actually nice connective tissue and stakes. Like, I don't exactly know where that line is in my personal taste or whatever, but what it made me think of is Thomas the Tank Engine, which I know I've mentioned before
Mm-hmm.
as like baby's first connected universe, but they would do a thing in episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine where the next episode would begin like, let's say there was an episode focusing on Rheneas of the small engine line. Now the next episode, not about him at all, but it's about Thomas or whatever. But at the very beginning, when like the narrator is explaining what's going on, Thomas and Rheneas will like pull up at opposite sides of the same station and just like say what's up to each other before it goes on. And now we're focusing on Thomas and he's not in the episode at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, like that as a kid, that really worked for me, like really hard, just being like, oh my god, and they all know each other
Yeah.
and they all exist on the same little island and all that kind of stuff. It just made me think about that. I don't really know if that's good or if that's like a cheap way to get like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme of him pointing.
Yeah,
But
I think there is some magic in it. I think part of the equation, and it's probably not larger than, just the creative aspect of it, is like we can sell toys easier if it's a universe because you want the toys that go with the other toys then so you can build it out. You want Thomas and you want Renee. What's her name? I don't know.
Rheneas.
Rheneas, yeah.
I think it either means like waterfall or mountain or something in Welsh.
Oh, wow. That struck me as like a pretty interesting name choice for a kid's show already.
Yeah, the Rheneas and Scarnloe.
Scarloey?
Scarnloe or Scarloe.
Is Scarnloey a bad guy? That kind of sounds bad.
No, he's cool.
Oh, okay. What kind of train is Scarnloey?
He's also one of the small line ones.
Mm.
So the weird like Welsh ones
Okay.
up north.
Damn.
No, but those were my guys. Scarnloe, Rheneas. Who else you got there? Peter Sam.
Yeah.
Duncan.
Duncan.
Toby will chop it up with those guys sometimes. Rust. No, not Rusty. Who's the square one? Who's the square one? Damn it!
I don't know. Which one doesn't like to drink?
Funny, but you're not gonna get me.
Okay. Sorry. Do you think
James is totally like the Irish one of the group?
I have a bunch of Thomas the Tank Engine toys. Think they're worth anything?
I don't know. I also have a ton, but mine are very used.
No, okay.
All of them have been like smashed into each other a bunch of times.
The core behind the entirety of it, and everyone is like this, right? Is you build the track yourself. It's like a wooden track you put together.
Yeah, with little
And
track pieces.
And they're magnetic trains, right?
Like on the front and the back,
yes.
Yeah, they have little magnets.
There's nothing magnet on the actual wood. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure I have a full understanding of like, are there other Thomas the Tank Engine toys? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there are. I remember when I was getting to the age of being like a little too old to play with it anymore, like first grade, they introduced a whole new line that almost made me just want to like keep buying Thomas toys. That was a smaller scale, like plastic thing with like plastic tracks, but they also had sort of like Hot Wheels-esque sets that they would release of like, like the Mountain Chase or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, you set it and it goes up like a conveyor belt and goes that like that kind of stuff. Oh, I know. I mean, I still really like that kind of stuff. I
had an awesome Hot Wheels set that was like, I don't know what the connection was, but there was like a shark that was part of it.
Yeah.
That would shoot at pizza or something.
Ooh, that I don't necessarily remember, but I remember one where the track goes like through the mouth of a shark and it can bite down on
Yes,
the,
yeah,
on the
that
car.
there was pizza involved somehow. I don't know if it
I
was
believe you.
part of the shark or was another part of it, or maybe I just like coalesced two sets of something, which is totally possible too.
Yeah, yeah. That has I can't think of not going to be a great story because I can't think of the example, but I feel like that's happened to me before where I've like remembered like, no, this crazy toy from childhood, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, you just mashed
Yeah.
two different toys together.
Yeah. Oh my god, you know what you reminded me of that I used to do that is crazy. I would take bottle caps and I would take tortillas and like deli cheese and ham and I would, make little sandwiches out of them. And then I would get paper and I would make my own like Ritz cracker bags basically and staple them shut. So I'd put the little sandwiches I made in there and staple them shut and be like, okay, I'm gonna go like put this in my closet now and leave it there.
Just like real food
Yes,
that like
yeah.
ants are getting to.
Yeah, no, I got in trouble so much for just like leaving food and tools like in my basement. Because also like I got into like making props with cardboard and stuff, and I would go and steal like the X-Acto knife from our garage all the time, and my parents would be so mad about it.
Just unsupervised using a knife.
Yeah,
Nice.
cutting myself for sure.
Yeah. Damn, that's baller though. What was I gonna say? Whatever. When you were saying you were making fake Ritz crackers packages, I was gonna say consumerism final boss.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, but they do it in this episode too. In the actual Senate chamber scenes, they like take little bottle caps and pieces of cheese and like
Yeah. Wow. Orange Frita's appetite would quite like that.
Well, he needs a little more.
Yeah.
It's so funny when Obi-Wan brings the assassin droid in and it's covered and he's pretending like it's food for a second. And
Yeah.
Orange Frita is like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was the traitor because he acts so suspicious there too.
Yeah.
And I know he like
He
knows
just
he's
like
not.
is a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know he's not great, but
Yeah, dude, and in the Senate murders one, he's got like Twi'lek girlies on his arms and stuff in the background with
man, these Twi'leks.
Masamita. This is where we really see like Palpatine, Masamita, and Orn Free-Tal hanging out in these ones.
Scumbag crew.
Totally. And then you've got your goodies, your good guy senators hanging out. But yeah, in the Senate chamber scene when Padme's like making her speech about why they shouldn't,
You
continue.
shouldn't give speeches like that. Transylvanian dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
The character that was set up to be like so obviously a bad guy
Yeah.
from his design. But they are showing a bunch of different like species like senator booths. And it's like, oh, those are the Trandoshan guys. Or I mean Toydarian guys from the very first episode of the show.
Were there
That's
any
kinda fun.
Lemurians there, or whatever those were?
Oh yeah.
Was that what they were called?
Lermans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty close. I didn't see them. I did see some Garns, which was interesting to me that they showed Garns from Malastare cheering, or Grands. I always mess up if it's Grands or Garns. The three stalk-eyed orange
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
They're cheering for Padme when she finishes the bill. And I'm like, wait, you guys are from Malastare. Like, isn't that on Palpatine's side? But then I'm like, oh, but they were kind of on Palpatine's side in Phantom Menace. Maybe he's like fucked them over at this point and they're like politically. I don't know. Made me think of that. Probably too much. The Ithorians applaud. Those are the Hammerhead guys.
Yeah, I wasn't like clocking who applauded when she was giving her speech, so that is interesting though. I wonder.
I know. I'm like, am I thinking about this too much? But also, I guarantee you, if you are animating this and looking over every frame of it over and over again, you're probably thinking about all of those things. Like,
Yeah.
which species would approve and disapprove of her speech. So,
Yeah, and hey, maybe they sit in a state of neutrality when it comes to voting, or they'll oscillate, and then eventually Palpatine just wins him over.
True. It could be a issue by issue thing too.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just, for reasons we don't know, they're just against military spending.
Padme's speech, energizing. You know,
Yeah.
she's good at what she does.
She's a good orator.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're so funny how much they still like just believe in the system hardcore. They're like traditional like Democrats or whatever, where they're like, well, yeah, like all this super fucked up stuff is happening, but at the end of the day, we still need to like be beholden to the rules.
But if we go to subsection Article A, we can actually maybe make a change for things.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Exactly.
it's like, okay, they have already sent their troops on your planet. You're already being infiltrated, and the terrorists have already won.
Yep. And you guys are also hypocrites because you go and break the rules to go on your own investigation, and then as soon as Devo shows up, Lieutenant Devo, he's like, "Hey, we need rules, or else society falls apart." And they're like, "No, we know. We actually love rules."
Yeah,
And it's like, okay,
that's our thing.
yeah, you love rules when it helps you.
To be fair, well, you know, their whole system they're set up in is already skewed, so they're screwed from the beginning. I mean,
Totally. They just think you can make revolutionary change peacefully.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is a noble. Not, you know, don't have to get into our own identity politics too much, but I, by the way, am pro like secure borders and stuff.
Yeah.
I just always find that an interesting struggle within my own mind of like, well, yeah, I would consider myself to be like a pacifist, but then at the end of the day, like, words only do so much.
Yeah.
Eventually you need like action behind them or something.
And when you're put in like positions that just domino effect in so many potential other ways, it becomes like much harder, I think, for them to make the right decisions within that environment. But I don't know. Like I said, for them, it's like messy anyway, because just the way everything is already structured and laid out for them, like they are just pawns in the Palpatine game.
Yeah, totally.
Like already at this point. So,
but they still believe.
Like you're the rat in its trap, spooling along the floor while it's bleeding out still.
Yeah, like, for real. Just the dying days of democracy.
Yeah.
Totally control, and they're all there. That's the thing, is they're all so aware of the corruption and everything within it, but they still revere Palpatine as like a good guy at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is the strange thing, I guess. I wonder if we'll see some characters start to, you know, catch whiff of it.
Yeah, maybe so. Or maybe he just like is so good at backwards manipulating where he always like officially is on the side of like the liberal, you know, the good guys or whatever when he votes and things, but he will like speak about things in a backwards way where he's like, oh, you know, like this is like pretty crazy, but he knows how to like plant the fears in the other people's minds while still presenting himself as being on the other side of it. Or
yeah, like just that. Like when the vote went through for like them to deploy troops on Mandalorian, it was like, oh my goodness, like I'm so sorry the vote went that way, but you know, maybe it actually, there is a little bit of benefit to it, like, you know.
It's like, well, I hope it, you know, I'm against it, but I do hope that it will help you.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, maybe it worked out.
Yeah, weird guy. I mean, it's obviously we know he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
and
he's
like,
a thespian though.
Yeah, totally. He loves playing the game.
Yeah.
But like, it's just so obvious in like the way he talks that he's like being manipulative.
But I think that works though, like because he's also just a politician there.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them sort of see him as like, okay, like he's a politician on our side. He's okay. He's like a little slimy, but you know, at the end of the day, he wants the same results that we want, is what they think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think everybody does kind of see him as like a super like greasy palms or whatever the phrase is, like kind of guy who's like willing to like no, I'm everybody's friend. I'm
Yeah.
everybody's friend. But they're like, oh, well, he kind of has to do that because he represents and he can't, like, totally disavow people he disagrees with or whatever as like the leader of the Senate and everything. So, yeah, no, I think you're right.
Man.
Anything else to say to the people?
No.